Welcome to Puckin Around Podcast. Join the gang, Carmen, Mike, Mika and Daryl for some Puckin talk.
Good evening, guys. This is just an update I'm doing for the Puckin Around Podcast. My name is Carmen. We couldn't be joined by anyone else, but I just thought I'd do this update a little bit late into the night just because we pretty much found out about it a couple hours ago on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen it before. I'm sure you've seen it on there already. But at the Columbus game today between Columbus and Colorado, the Oilers had 3 scouts there watching the team. And it was actually jam-packed with scouts from other teams as well. They also had 1 goalie scout there. So, that's very interesting to me. Because we've seen Skinner start the year actually pretty good. He's played pretty good in the games he's played. Even the one today, they lost to the Islanders, but there was no fault on him. He actually played pretty good. And I'm a big non-believer in Skinner, as everyone's probably noticed from my personal Twitter account, but he's played pretty well. So, you have Skinner, and then you have Pickard, who's actually been decent as well. The game he played in, he was really good. He stopped some good shots and some unlucky breaks, mostly due to Bouchard, who's actually started off the year pretty bad. And we also have Connor Ingram, who starts for the Condors this weekend. He's finally going to be starting to play, which is great to see. So, kudos to him and good luck to him. Hopefully he's able to come up to the Oilers maybe in a couple of months or maybe 3 months and just maybe take the number 1 spot or become a 1B at best or at worst. So this brings into question, why do the Oilers have a goalie scout at Columbus? This could be just something small. They could just be looking at Elvis Merzlikins, which is probably who they were looking at. They might be just looking at him to see maybe in the future, like around the deadline, if they need a goalie, then they still have him as an option. I kind of hope that's not true because we've seen what Merzlikins has done. In his first couple of years, he was really good with Columbus, but ever since, Columbus got worse, he got worse as well. His numbers don't really show much. Also, it's not like he made his game any better. It seems like he's gotten worse every year. And his save percentage to start this year has actually been pretty good. I'm not sure how these numbers make sense, but his save percentage is .920 so far. So that's actually pretty good. His goals against, on the other hand, is 3.54, and that's not good. Not good at all. But again, he is playing on Columbus, not a team that you want to be a goalie with, but their defense isn't fully terrible as one would assume. Secondly, I think they might be looking at Columbus because of Igor. I always pronounce his name wrong. Igor Chinakhov. This was his season debut for the year for Columbus, and he said during the year that he didn't want to play for Columbus. He wanted to be on a team where he can get top 6 minutes. I think that is a player that we are still looking at. I did think with the Jack Roslovic signing that we would move off from Chinakhov, but he is someone I guess we may be interested in based on who we're looking at. I think he might be one of the players that we're still looking into. Although with the depth of the Oilers have, I'm not sure how they would fit him in, especially since we still have Hyman coming in. Third, another player that I might be looking at is Mathieu Olivier. He's got some good skill in hockey as well. Good hockey sense. He's got a decent amount of skill, but he's also tough and he's physical. He's a decent skater. To start this year, I think one thing that the Oilers have not brought in that they have every year is toughness. They don't have much toughness without Evander Kane. There hasn't been that many big hits. There hasn't been that much rough stuff in the corners or rough stuff in front of the net. And that's something that, honestly, it makes the team feel a little bit, at least to me, it seems the team feels a little bit bare bones without any toughness. The Oilers do have Nurse, the Oilers do have Trent Frederick, but I think they need Darnell Nurse more on the ice. Trent Frederick, on the other hand, it's very surprising that he isn't bringing any of that. Even on Boston, he was scoring goals, he was penalty killing, he was hitting, and he was being tough. He was getting into the greasy corners and just hitting people or just starting things. With Edmonton right now, he hasn't been doing any of that, to be honest. And Not really sure why, but maybe he's woken up a little bit, especially after taking that penalty tonight that cost the Oilers the game. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, moving on from the Columbus rumor, the other thing I did want to talk about. I mean, we'll have a podcast on this tomorrow. I did want to give a small little rant about the game today. Okay, we have Chris Nobla as a coach, and he's an amazing coach. Led us to 2 Stanley Cup finals, but he also needs to learn that you should not be switching up lines every period and every game. He needs to stick to the forward core he has. He needs to stick to the lines he has, at least for one game, and he needs to ride it. Because I think that the team will not gain any chemistry if all you're doing is just switching lines up period after period, shift after shift. Maybe you see something good on one line, then you decide to move the player up. Okay, great. You give him that shift. But after that, you move him back to the original line he was on. Okay, so then what was the point of that? Like, what did you gain from it? What did you glean from one shift that you saw? That's not something that is going to work. And I feel like the Oilers should stick with just like 4 lines, or like at least 3 lines. And then maybe on the 4th line, you can interchange that with the 3rd line. But the top 6, I think, at least in my opinion, this is what the Oilers should go with. The top line, they should go with Mangiapane, McDavid, and with Mathieu Olivier. I thought he was very good today. Defensively, he was really good. Second line, go with RNH, Draisaitl, and Puckin or Tomasek. Although Tomasek may be a bit slow for that line. So I'd say RNH, McDavid, and Puckin. Or RNH, Leon, and Puckin. Sorry, got that mixed up. Puckin and McDavid and Leon have had chemistry in the past. I think that could be something that could work. He's got more confidence now. You can tell he's moving around faster. He's actually making some really good plays offensively. And I think that could work. 3rd line, maybe go with Tomasek, Henrique, and maybe Howard. I thought he was okay in the limited amount of minutes he played, but I do think the best option for him is to go to the AHL eventually. So I guess we'll see. Maybe Chris Nobla decides to stick with like lines that he can ride for maybe 2 to 3 games, or maybe even a week. We'll see. Defensively, we already know the problem there. Bouchard needs to man up and actually find his game. Although he starts every year pretty bad, but today he was extremely, extremely terrible. Like, just that's probably the worst I've seen him play ever since maybe his rookie year. But again, it is the start of the year, so we can't really make full judgments. Even though I went off on Twitter a little bit on the Oilers. One thing I do want to point out is Stuart Skinner is someone that I'm a non-believer in. I don't think he's the goalie that the Oilers want if they want to make the Cup final. Or not make the Cup final, sorry. They've already done it with him. If they want to win the Stanley Cup. But compared to his previous 2 years, this year he's actually started off pretty good. The Calgary game, yeah, we're not going to forget that goal he allowed. The 3rd goal in the 3rd period, we're not going to forget that. But the next game, he was very good. Tonight, he was very good. That pad save he made was amazing. But he also made some more good saves after that. Unfortunately, he couldn't save the Oilers' bacon every single time, and then that goal went in on the power play in the 3rd period when there was around 4 minutes left. But other than that, he's been pretty good, and I think he's had a great start. So maybe the goalie coach is actually helping him out, or maybe this is just a small little run he's on, and then after that he'll revert back to his old stuff. I really think, and I really hope, that Skinner's actually found his game now and he's ready to become the Oilers starter. But again, I'm not going to make any judgments after 3 to 4 games. Let's ride this out. Maybe by the deadline, we won't even need a goalie. But again, I guess we'll see. Anyway, so that's just the update I wanted to do for the Puckin Around podcast. We'll have a full podcast tomorrow, around maybe 30 to 40 minutes. Again, we're still trying to decide if we should go with a full-on video or if we should just go with audio. But again, I'll be tweeting it, or one of us will be tweeting it from the Puckin Around podcast, and I'll be retweeting it from my personal Twitter. So just find it on one of the Twitter accounts that you follow, and you can just give it a listen tomorrow or on Spotify the next day. And so hopefully you guys are on there later listening to it tomorrow. And have a great night. Thank you.